Good morning. Craig Howard here. Happy again to see you this morning and enjoying what is another beautiful morning. Got a little chill in the air, but it's a beautiful morning. I was reading some different things this morning. Today is Maundy Thursday. That's the day that Jesus sat down with his disciples for the Passover and what we typically refer to as the Last Supper. It's the day when he instituted the idea of feet washing with his disciples. And I ran across a story back in the days leading up to 9/11. There was people were fleeing Afghanistan. They were fleeing over into Pakistan, and all sorts of places were being set up. All sorts of camps were being set up for the people to go to, and the camps were terrible. They were filthy. There was no good sanitation. The kids were running around, most of them barefoot. They didn't have good hygiene. Everything was a mess. And there was a group of Christians that went in there trying to serve and trying to help. And there was this one lady who decided that she and her children were going to practice what Jesus had practiced, and she was going to wash the dirty feet of the children and give them a pair of sandals, a bag of flour, a shawl, a couple other things. So she went around the village, and these feet were awful. They had sores on them, pus on them. They were awful. But she went around the village and she washed the feet of these little children who were running around with no shoes and just filthy. And she washed them and cleaned them and gave them a pair of sandals. She washed every kid in that particular camp. And later on, they had a tent set up for a school. They had a tent set up for a school where an Islamic teacher would teach. And this is not a slam against Islam. I'm just sharing a story. The teacher asked them in the course of the lesson, said, "What makes a good Muslim?" Or who are the best Muslims? And or who are the best Muslims that you know? I think it was the exact question. And this little girl whose feet had been so bad, she raised her hand and she said the Kishars. Well, the Kishars was another name for Christians. And the teacher was stunned. She just kind of took a step back, and when she finally kind of regained her composure, she said, "Why would you say that?" And she said, "Because right now the Muslims are fighting and they killed my father. The Kishars washed my feet." Again, that's not an attack on Islam. It's just about an act of kindness. It's about how putting someone ahead of yourself instead of fighting for your own desires or your own wants, how that can be powerful. The Bible says over in John 13, when Jesus was washing the feet of his disciples, when he finished, he sat down, and it says in verse 13, "You call me teacher and Lord, and you say, well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought also to wash one another's feet, for I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you." I'm not suggesting you need to go out today and go around town washing the feet of people around town, or even the feet of your own family, although there'd be nothing wrong with that. But I am saying that we need to understand that acts of kindness, acts of servanthood, acts of giving yourself to others can have a profound impact. It did so even in an Islamic refugee camp. And it can in your life and the people around you. So look around today. Today, 2,000 years ago, Jesus stooped and washed the feet of his disciples who had been walking on dusty, dirty roads. What can you do today to show that servant-like spirit of Jesus Christ? Well, my time is up. I hope you have a great day today. I want to remind you about the drive-in service in the town park, the town parking lot, not the town park, the town parking lot on Sunday starts at 10:30. Help spread the word with me on that, and I would appreciate it. Today, let's be a servant in every way we can. We have people today that are going to be working on more filter masks, and I'm going to be getting those supplies out, and people are going to be working from their home on taking these filters apart so they can be sewn into masks. I just appreciate all they're doing so much. That's another act of servanthood. And shout out to Kim Musser. She is doing an incredible job on keeping this going and making these available. All right, you have a great day today. God bless you, and I will see you, Lord willing, tomorrow.